What's up guys, and welcome back to another Battlefront 2 video. As you guys know, the latest patch, Age of Resistance, brought both two new droids to the Battlefront. This video will in fact go through everything that you should know about BB-8 and BB-9E, from abilities to the best star cards on what to use, and several more tips and tricks that you probably wouldn't have guessed. I assure you, you will learn something from this video. The droids are relatively new to Battlefront 2, hence you won't know too much about them, and this video will inform you everything about that. BB-8 is seen as the more offensive hero of the two, while BB-9E picks up the support role with more utility and less damage. Both absolutely get destroyed by other heroes though, or even reinforcements if caught in the wrong position, while BB-8 is targeted at killing infantry and has an easier time dealing with large groups of enemies. BB-9E is your go-to droid for dealing with heroes. As the initial first shock, he does stuns. This, combined with your mobility to get around easily, you find yourself sneaking behind targets usually and preemptively striking most of the time, getting that initial stun off and allowing your team to follow up easily. Both are kitted with 6 abilities in total, each including the passive heal on kill as well. For starters, BB-8 resistance backing scrambles enemy radars and highlights enemies through walls as well as on the minimap. When taking damage, enemies scanned by BB-8's resistance backing ability take more damage from allies, much like Count Dooku's exposed weakness ability but on a larger scale. Moving on to the next ability, Cable Spin, which is BB-8's most deadly ability. He deploys 3 cables and begins to spin them rapidly in a radius, dealing damage. Now this ability lasts for quite a while, so you probably find yourself exposed or vulnerable during it, so take note that you can cancel this ability by pressing it again if need be. And the last active ability for BB-8 is the Rolling Charge, which is simply BB-8 charging straight ahead, doing damage and knocking down anyone hit by it, except if the ability is blocked, the damage still applies but staggers instead of knocking down. Now this is very similar to Han's Shoulder Charge or the Vissian Gunner Shoulder Charge. Pretty sure there's another one out there. They've used this ability for quite a lot of characters already, so you will be familiar with it. BB-8 is also equipped with 2 passives, a Swift Reaction, which is reducing the cooldown reduction of his allies around him, like Finn's Big Deal. BB-8 and BB-9E both share the same passive ability, Technical Support, where they do the objective at twice the speed. This is very useful in GA and Capital Supremacy, as you can cap sights and plant objectives at the speed of light. It's insanely quick how you can actually do this. It's gonna get nerfed soon, so make sure you guys do play the objective with this. And if you're feeling that you're low on tickets and you need to get a quick win, make sure you pick BB-8 at the end of round, and he will make sure to do that. BB-9E on the other hand has a smoke screen ability that reveals enemies on the minimap and deploys smoke at the same time, similar to Lando's smoke that removes your location off the minimap completely, with his second ability being his Shock Spin, where he rotates in a similar fashion to BB-8's Cable Spin, except BB-9E emits an electric pulse initially that damages and knocks back enemies in a radius around them. Enemies on the outer circumference of the ability have their blasters overheated and grenades disrupted. And lastly, it slows enemies that are still within the radius of the shock spin and does damage to them over time, giving the effect of the shock grenade that the specialist uses. Last up is his charge ability that gives you a blast command to both BB-9E and his allies surrounding him, reducing the cooldown of their abilities as well. BB-9E is also equipped with 2 passive abilities, one being Technical Support that we mentioned earlier, and the other is Bacta Support. This allows BB-9E to passively heal enemies around him. It's currently 3 HP every 3 seconds, which is 60 HP every minute. Using the Potent Bacta card, this changes this to 5 HP every 5 seconds. However, the radius around him is increased to 2.5 for Bacta. Alright, here's some tips about both the droids that you probably don't know yet. Both droids jump higher while standing still than walking or sprinting. Currently, the ability Charge Up doesn't give reduced cooldown times, which is pretty annoying, but I assume this will be fixed in one of the later patches. Both droids are immune to getting knocked down because they are a ball, so essentially they can't land on their back, making most force abilities like Luke's Push pretty useless on them. Alright, lastly in this video I'm going to be going through what star cards to use, starting off with BB-8. Currently BB-8's most powerful build is one that revolves around his spin cable ability, because that ability does a lot of damage, especially since you're such a small target to hit. Your size will definitely give you an edge and you'll most likely go unpunished, I currently use the Whirlwind star card that increases both radius by 2 and damage output by 8 if you upgrade it to purple. Secondly, there's the Spinner star card that reduces the cooldown by 10 seconds if you hit 2 enemies, which is a pretty good deal already. However, it currently stacks, so if you hit more enemies, the cooldown reduction is increased above the cap. I assume this won't last long because they usually patch things that are like this. I also noticed that there's a bug with this star card. When I equipped it, I began hitting enemies with my cable spin that were out of range. Initially, I simply thought that the cable spin went through walls, like Chewie's old ground slam, except I noticed that it's something deeper. It simply hits enemies that are way out of my range, so I assumed that this will be patched eventually, where you just get random kills while this ability is active. This will definitely explain why you're getting hit markers during this ability when no one is in it. Now moving on to the last star card, Uncover, where enemies revealed by the resistance backing ability take 12.5% increased damage when you're at purple. Alright, with BB8 out of the way, we're going to be moving on to BB9E, his counterpart. Except I'm afraid to say that BB9E star cards aren't as good as BB8's. BB8 has a large selection to choose from, with those 3 being way better than the others. BB9E has quite a bad selection, and I will say them now. The first is Full Reconstruction that increases his health regen cap by 100. That is the grey in your health bar. And with his next star card being Linked Systems that increases your shock prod's damage after you shock 4 enemies by a total of 1, with it being capped at 8. This is similar to Luke's Intensify star card that also functions in a similar way, with the last star card for this video being Faster. This star card doubles the damage of the shock over time for those still in the radius if a minimum of 2 people at least are hit by it. Keep in mind it does not increase the initial electric pulse damage of 90, but the shock damage after that for enemies still within the radius. Alright, thank you guys for watching. I hope this guide was beneficial towards you, and I hope you learned at least one thing today. And if you did, make sure you guys do hit the like button down below. It really does support this channel and it helps out a lot. I'm going to be doing a lot more gameplays up in the future, so go ahead and check me out. And if you are interested in my content, make sure to subscribe with the bell button. Alright, thank you guys for watching once again, and I'll catch you guys later.